Hi, it's Mo. Welcome back to the property vlog. This week I joined a call talking about my experience on the board, which is a roundtable mastermind for business and property professionals. There's 15 of us on it, and I was talking to a group that were potentially looking to join for next year. And this was talking all about what the benefits are of having a mastermind. This one specifically is called the board as part of Property Entrepreneur, but the principles apply broadly across other masterminds. So I thought I'd put a summary of the video and some of the key takeaways in on the property vlog. So talked all about the benefits, also talked about what type of people is it suitable for, and then also talked about top tips for if you are applying, because generally these masterminds are application only. So hope you enjoy. Please remember to hit the like and subscribe button and share the video with anyone you think might get value from it.
I think accountability is a massive one. I think having a high performing group of peers, you're not necessarily benchmarking against each other, but there are people that are like ahead of you, objectively ahead of you in terms of what they're doing in business. But then there's also people that are, say, ahead of you in terms of what you're doing and what you might want to do in fitness. And someone might be really successful but not have that much balance. So like everyone's just like at different levels, and having the accountability to push whatever level you're at to the next level is I think one of the main things. And we talk about accountability a lot, and we actually then sort of mark, stuff like we do in advance, but just to the next level in terms of like, have you actually done what you said you were going to do last month? And if you haven't, it's just embarrassing because you've got 14, 15 other people sitting there who have done it. And there's obviously trackers and stuff like that. And we do also have, as well as the main as well as the main board WhatsApp group, we also have like separate like side challenges. So there might, at the moment, there's a I can't remember the name of it. It's like fitness, and either you want to cut weight or you want to do steps or whatever you want to do for your health. There's like a separate accountability group for that, and it's opt-in. So not everyone has to do it, but if you want to do it, you sign up and you get involved, and then the Bianca and the team are there to support with the tracking of that and driving. You've probably all been in like separate WhatsApp groups, but having one with the board is a real sort of accountability push. Yeah, so expertise, I think you already mentioned this. It's just like if you've got a question, someone's either been there, done it, or they know someone that has, whether that's in the WhatsApp group, whether that's on the one-to-one calls with Dan, whether that's in person, like someone will just know the answer and someone's probably been there and done it. And if they haven't, they know someone that has. So that's a massive one, the actual expertise side. It's not so much of like training like you might get with advanced or other stuff, but it's there if you need it. And there is some element of training, but it's almost like when you've got a problem or when you foresee you're going to have a thing coming up, you can then get exactly the targeted stuff you need, which is actually, for me, it's way more valuable because it's sort of like scenario based learning, which I think is the best way to sort of learn. Dan's got really good like mental models of stuff that even if there's something he hasn't done, he can apply like another area of business or life to that, and he probably knows the answer. But there are people, so for like commercial, he'll know the answer to a commercial question, but Susie's there who's, like you said, done it for years and managed billions of pounds worth of property. So but you get the benefit of both of them. You don't have to choose. So I think you mentioned before about like deals that were done on the board, and I just wanted to sort of call on that. So that pretty much everyone on the board is doing something with someone else in terms of like deals or partners or something like that. So for me, one of the members of the board is a fixed rate investor. So we're looking for investment there, an investor. One of them, I'm working with Josh, who's obviously does UFD. So he's our UFD for more lets. One of the board members is buying our deals in Plymouth. And then there's one business partnership I can't talk about. So there is like a load of business that's done on the board. And it's because you're on the same frequency, you're on the same wavelength. It's just like, and you've got trust because you've been through stuff together. You've shared personal things. You've shared a lot with each other, and you've got a level of trust, and people's expertise and stuff. So there's a lot of deals done on the board. I think one of the benefits is positioning as well. So to like be able to say you're a board member, whether that's within the PE community or elsewhere, like it is an exclusive like mastermind. There is an application process. So there is an element of positioning, whether that's investors or deals or whatever you're doing. Like it is, you know, you're positioned as a KPI if you're on the board. Just finally, the fun and social aspect. So one of the best things actually talking about retreats was we went to Centre Park to do our strategy retreat, and it was just like so much fun, but also just like so key to get the strategy nailed for this year, and just going for walks with people and then sitting down and then having quiet time, and it was just like loads of fun, but also the output was like absolutely nailed the strategy for this year. So the other thing is like, I don't know about everyone else, but I don't have that many people in my network that like would be really excited that like I got planning on something, or, you know, I like made some money doing something, or like when we sold our, we just sold a bit of land that we got planning on, we bought and sold it. Obviously spent a load of money doing the planning and stuff, but that was like a huge achievement. And like you share that on the board group and it's just like such an encouraging environment. There's not loads of people that you can talk to about that, because they'll be a bit like, oh well, like it's like money focused, or, you know, it's just like so nice to have that supportive environment then, and it's for wins and losses. So like, you know, you take an L and you can share it on there and get some support and feedback, but sharing your wins as well.
The board is such a unique group. Only on the board would people celebrate when you're like, I got 8 hours sleep last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people are like, good for you, you bastard, 100%. Or whatever. It's like,
because you got the context. You've got the context of like, well, that person has had trouble sleeping and now they've got some like new magnesium pills, or they got a new Whoop strap or something, and it's like you know the history, you know how much it means to someone. So like a little win like that is like, actually, it's really cool. I got a tip about stamp duty and sort of using property for Airbnb and stuff like that. And anyway, if you Google it, it's like, no, it's normal stamp duty, blah, blah, blah. But actually one of the board members had just got some rebates on some SA properties he'd done. I've just had a call with the company, and I think it's going to equate to 100K stamp duty saving on a property I'm buying. And if that comes through, it's like, you know, that's like, what is that? 3 years, nearly 3 years of the board, like
that's it.
Paid for in one deal. Yeah.
You talk about ROI, and it's often not the thing you think you're signing up for that you end up getting all the value from.
One of the things that I was reflecting on in terms of like what have I got out of the board over the last few years is like the balance element, and it's like definitely going hard but working smart. So like I don't have any meetings before 11 o'clock, so I work from home so I can take my son to and from nursery. And it's just thinking a lot more about that stuff. It's not all just like, it's working smart, but also working hard. So I feel like I've got a really good balance, probably the most balance I've ever had in my life, but I'm also doing the most things I've ever done. Board is for people that, obviously you've all had some contact with PE, whether it's the program or advance, or you know what Dan's about. So it's, if you align to that sort of thinking, that Adam mentioned sort of like personal growth, development, stuff like that. If that ticks your boxes, it's just like taking that to the next level, which I think Adam's already said. You've got to be open to learning. So as Adam said, it's like, you know, every day is a school day, and you got to go in there. You got to leave your ego at the door, and you've got to go in there and be open to learning. You've got to have time commitment. You've got to have the time to be able to commit, and you've got to engage in the process. So giving other people feedback, taking feedback on your own, going to the retreats. You don't have to go to all of them, but just like putting in, you know, be part of the team. And I think most importantly, giving back to other board members, like, you know, what you give, you receive, and the more you're active in WhatsApp group, and the more you speak to people at dinner and when we're at the Belfry and stuff like that, the more, of course, it's human nature, the more you're going to get back. It's sort of like just topping up your karma credits at all times. And also just having fun as well. Like it is, you know, it is about ROI, and it is about business, and it is about property, but also it's fun. And as Adam showed from the board retreat video, and as I said about Centre Parks, and even just during the meetings, like we do have a laugh. It's serious, but it's, you know, we're all in the journey. It's a balance, because obviously it can't just be like 24/7 gags, because, you know, we've got business to do and stuff like that. But it just helps build rapport within the group and stuff like that. And everyone's got something that they're like, you know, they've got a thing, you know, that's like their certain ways that they go about things and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a laugh, but also we know, you know, we know each other's boundaries, and we know it's just like really good friends. I think one thing I didn't really appreciate was like how close you get to these people, and considering how much how little you see them physically face to face, like, you know, they know everything about you, you know everything about them, families, business, financials. You know, you just
People
get a really
going to each
good
other's
bond.
weddings.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's a sales pitch, so like sell yourselves. I think give examples of how like committed you are, give examples of how ambitious you are, stuff you've done in the past, how you've like pushed yourself out of your comfort zone to show that actually you're gonna, you know, you're ready for this next stage of your journey or whatever. But probably most importantly, like I said, it's like mention what you're bringing to the table. It is application only for a reason. You need to say what is special about you, and you might think, oh well, there's nothing particularly special about me, but actually there'll be something that you're an expert in, and you can bring that to the table. And if there isn't, is it your energy, is it your contacts, is it your phone book, is it that you used to work in corporate life and you're good at that? Like, there'll be something that the board members would really value, and on top of that, it's the intent of wanting to share whatever that is. So it's like the physical thing itself, and then also just the intent of being like, I'm going to be completely open to like help other people out with this.
So thank you for watching this week's video. If you've got any questions or comments, either leave them in the comments below, drop me an email. All my details are below the video, and we'll see you on next week's video.